Hello YouTube, this is Lapse of Apathy. I'm coming to you live to tell you something that's been on my mind. And that thing is that nationalism is a fucking cancer. Why be proud of something that you can't even have any control of? You can't have any control of your race, you can't have any control over your gender or your sexual orientation or anything else like that. If you have to be proud of something, be proud of one of your accomplishments, something that you did. I learned programming 5 years ago, and now I'm proficient in 4 or 5 different programming languages. Some of them being scripting languages, some of them being programming languages. And I'm proud of learning that. I'm proud of learning the things that I did. I'm proud of taking the time out of my life to learn things and make myself more marketable. I'm proud of my knowledge that I gathered from from uh, from learning about politics and learning about the ins and outs and why I was wrong in the beginning about capitalism, how I was wrong about capitalism versus what we actually have, which is fascism. It's corporate ownership of the government. It's the government sleeping in bed with the free market, creating restrictions so that the free market is as centralized as possible, so they're able to accumulate as much taxes as possible. That the market that we have now is so small that no one is able to lower any prices. No one is able to actually make the dollar sufficiently enough so the dollar is worth more than it is now. That there is a 3% market increase of the dollar, of how many dollars are floating in our economy, and that is why $7 an hour is no longer proficient to feed people, to put them in sustainable homes, no longer sufficient for people to live off of, that the minimum wage and minimum wage laws just block people from getting into the market that don't have as many skills as those who are already in the market, that labor unions are in bed with the government and labor unions rise their prices so much that they make a little bit more, but anyone else who wants to get into the market of being a plumber or being some tradesman is not able to, because they have raised the prices so much because of syndicalism. We have destroyed the market because of helping out, quote unquote, the worker. We have made it more hard to get in the market, and we had devalued our dollars so much that you are no longer able to even live off of $15 an hour if you have some help from family or friends or whatnot. We have made it so that in order to get a job, it's a lot easier to get a job with a college degree and get in debt for so many thousands of dollars than it is to just work. You know, these are the things that one has to be proud of. One has to be proud of their own work, their own accomplishments, their own understanding of the world, their own understanding of certain functions that they learned that they're using as their profession. They should be proud of even getting jobs at McDonald's. They should be proud of holding jobs. They should be proud of, getting that degree at the end. Even if some of it is vague, rogue memorization, you at least were able to memorize those facts. And with the memorization of those facts, you don't have to just keep them. You can push it forward. You can push science forward, more forward beyond the bachelor's degree that you might have gotten or the master's degree. Maybe you're even a um, doctorate in mechanical engineering or or some other type of engineering or technology or science or whatever it may be. You should be proud of getting to that point. You should be proud of your own ability and your own capability to get to that certain point where you're able to undergo some vigorous testing, undergo some vigorous things to understand completely what you wanted to achieve. I have a friend that's going for his PhD in chemistry. I know that man that I know has gone through his ups and downs. I know that he's really worked fucking hard to get where he is now. And that's something he should be proud of, and I'm sure he is. But when it comes to national identity, when it comes to race, when it comes to religion, when it comes to something that you're born in, that you do not have any control over in the first place, you never even worked to be white or to have brown curly hair as a matter of genetics, to, I don't know, have a large or small nose or whatever it may be. That's not something to be proud of, and if you think that you should be proud of that, then you're going to be falling for the national identity just as much as many people already have been. What we really need to realize is that us as human beings, us as the citizens of the United States or wherever you may be watching this, if you're a citizen of Canada or if you're a citizen of China, even if you're not restricted from my videos on YouTube or YouTube in general, you should not be proud of your own national identity. I should not be proud of my own national identity, and indeed I am not. But you and me and everyone around the world that is a citizen of some country or nation or something like that, we have more in common than the leaders that propose that they have solutions, and continuously everything that was a problem gets worse. One after another, after another, after another. And they conglomerate more power, and they take events that either actually happen or they're sensationalized, or events that are false flagged. It doesn't really matter if it's a staged attack or something that really happened or whatnot. These isolated incidents, these incidents that happen to be going on for a while, you're not going to fix it by centralizing more power into the hands of the psychopaths that rule over you. These people don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. You might think that. You might think, oh, without government, how would we build the roads? Well, ask yourself this. Do you want roads? Do you believe everyone else wants roads as well? Then you don't need to be forced into buying roads. You can make roads by all getting together and fucking making a road. Paying someone out of your own pocket voluntarily to make a road. Maybe you can even ask, why do we need roads in the first place? And of course you might actually say, well, we need roads to get to our jobs. And our jobs are miles and miles away. Well, why are your jobs miles and miles away? Why is it that we need these cars to drive back and forth on these roads to get to our work every day? Why is it that we have to work 40 hours a week? You know, these are the questions that nobody thinks to ask. But yet, it's one of those questions, all of these questions I ask in my head every single day. And I keep looking online and I'm trying to figure out these questions that pop up in my head. And that's what you need to do. And you need to be awake. And you need to stop distracting yourself from what's going on by watching television or by doing something that you like all the time. You might not even like it. It might be the only thing that's on TV, and yet you watch it. And you feel empty. You feel in your own mind, in your own gut feeling is telling you something is wrong. But whenever you might question it, whenever someone might ask you, you say that's just the way it is. Well, I say, why is it just the way it is? And if you say, well, just because, you know that you have some research to do. You want to be free? Make yourself free. Make yourself happy. How do you get happiness? Do you get happiness in your own personal relationships that you have with your friends and family members? Do you get happiness from doing your work? Do you get happiness from building, building a ship in a bottle? Do you get happiness from collecting comic books or playing video games or doing something that you're working at? From accumulating knowledge that you might not be a professional at? From reading, from writing, from doing something that is a creative thing and not passive entertainment like the television, then do it. Because the TV shows us images of a lifestyle that it tells you you should be interested in. And you get into this mode of thinking, well, you know what, those people have cars and a house and everything else like that, and that's what I want. Do you really want that? Do you really want a giant house and and really cool cars like a Mercedes Benz and whatnot? Or do you want to make yourself happy by doing something? You know, if you get that house and that's what you want, that's fine. If you get those cars and you're really into cars and you really like cars because you do like cars, then that's alright. But those are only material things. And what you're going to do, and what you know you're going to do, but you try to push it in the back of your mind, is you're going to use that car, use that Mercedes Benz, use that whatever you have, and drive to work, and drive back home, and feed yourself or feed your children or your wife, or do whatever you do with your own day. And that car is going to lose its value within the next couple of months. Maybe even the next time you see something on TV about the brand new shiny car or the brand new thing that you can use to decorate with your house, you know that it's going to be the next best thing that you're going to want. Either because the television tells you so and assumes that you really want it through the fucking marketing that you have, because you watch these commercials and ingest them passively, and those messages get in your head and they resonate in your subconscious, making you think you really want something when you really don't, because it's subconscious, gratuitous, and it happens to feed your own instability that you have within yourself, and you want to make yourself happy by getting something that won't make you happy and will instead make you happy temporarily for a couple of months and then lose its luster. It's going to repeat and repeat and repeat. The best way to free yourself is by understanding that you and I and everyone else in this world have as much value as anyone else. No matter how much that person down the street you might think is fucking stupid, you and I know that that person has as much value as you, me, and everyone else on the planet. Once you get into the mode of thinking that human beings are stupid and they're animals, they have won. You have to break out of that mindset. Human beings are not stupid. We do a lot of stupid things. Humanity is pretty stupid. But that does not take away from the fact that we have all intrinsic worth and we're all capable of great things. We just have to look inside and look without and connect the two things. See, the one thing that I do with my life is I always look outside, and I know I look outside. And a lot of those things I can look at objectively, but when it comes to inside, I find it more difficult because it's emotional. It's an emotional bond that I have with my own inner self and how I was raised in my own history. And I know that you and everyone else out there has some sort of troubles with their past or something. And these all connect to how you view the world. And how you view the world is not only shaped by your own personal feelings and your own personal doubts that you have about yourself, but it's about what messages you consume on a day-to-day basis, what your routine is, what you think about yourself, what others think about you, and that shouldn't matter. Do you have someone in your life that says, you know what, I don't think what you're doing is a very cool thing. I think that collecting these action figures is fucking stupid and you should sell them for money and become an adult like the rest of us. I don't know if you're married to that person. I don't know if you're a friend with that person. But you really have to understand that that person is fucking wrong. Because no one knows you as much as you know yourself. Not even the TV. Do what you want to do with life. Make a living and do what you want to do. Don't let everyone else tell you you have to do this or that. Or that you have to be somehow guilty that you're white or you're black or you're Mexican or you're this or that. Or that you have to be proud that you're white or black or Mexican or Tanganese or Japanese or whatever. Because in the end, it doesn't matter. You don't have to feel guilty for what you are, circumstances that are beyond your own your own ability to change, that your own ability to even be. You don't have to be guilty, and you shouldn't be proud of the things that you are that you have no control over. You should be proud of things that you have done, and you should be guilty over things you have done that you feel bad about. But don't just feel guilty. Take it as an opportunity to turn it around and make yourself happy. In the end, you're allowed to believe in whatever the fuck you want to believe in. Whether you're a Christian or an atheist or a Jewish person or a Hindu, you're allowed to love whoever you want. You're allowed to love, the same people of your own gender. You're allowed to be straight. You're allowed to be bi. You're allowed to be transsexual. You're allowed to be whatever the fuck you want. Nobody else can tell you that you're not. I can't. No one else can. You own yourself. No one else owns you. Who you are doesn't matter. Don't be proud of it, and don't be ashamed. It's just who you are. Transcend, learn, and understand who you are and what you like, because this is the only life you have as far as I know. Or are you going to take it by the horns, or are you going to take that bull by the horns and ride it all the way into the sunset and do whatever the fuck you want as long as if it's not hurting anyone? Or are you going to let that pass by because somebody else told you what you want to do is wrong? One last thing. Don't let those who do not like what you're doing stop you. You are you. You're allowed to believe in whatever the fuck you want to believe in. You own yourself. fuck everyone else, and do what you want to do. This has been Lapse of Apathy, talking to you for about 20 minutes and a couple of seconds. I hope you enjoyed my rants and words of inspiration. Thank you very much, and have a great and wonderful night, evening, or you should go to sleep because it's probably 4 o'clock in the morning. Bye.